The Holiday Initiative. With all due respect, High Commander Verk-6, you can't ban Christmas, Cadet Alex Chen stated, standing at perfect attention in the crystalline office of the Galactic Defense Academy's highest-ranking official. The bioluminescent patches on the commander's exoskeleton pulsed with what Alex had learned to recognize as extreme irritation. Cadet Chen, your species has been part of the Galactic Defense Force for precisely 8 standard cycles. You do not dictate policy. The commander's translator rendered their clicks and whistles into crisp standard galactic. The end-of-cycle celebrations have caused 3 diplomatic incidents, 2 atmospheric processors to malfunction, and 1 temporal anomaly. The Council agrees, Earth holidays are simply too dangerous. Alex maintained their stance but allowed a small smile to form. Sir, that's exactly why we need to do this properly. The unofficial celebrations are happening because you can't stop 3,000 human cadets from celebrating Christmas. But if we make it official, we can control it. Behind them, the holographic display showed footage from last year's incident. Someone, definitely not Sarah Martinez from engineering, had programmed the training simulators to produce snow. Real snow. In every corridor. The environmental systems had gone haywire trying to compensate, leading to a rather memorable week where different sections of the Academy experienced all 4 Earth seasons simultaneously. The commander's antennae twitched, a sign they were actually considering it. Explain. Let us organize an official celebration. We'll handle everything, decorations, events, cultural education sessions. We'll make it safe, controlled, and most importantly, we'll make it inclusive. Every species in the Academy can participate. And the firearms? Verk-6's secondary arms gestured to another hologram, security footage of James O'Connor demonstrating what he called traditional Christmas crackers to a group of fascinated Arxolian cadets. The resulting explosion had taken out a wall. That was a cultural misunderstanding, Alex admitted. Which is exactly why we need to do this properly. Sir, Christmas isn't just about the chaos. It's about bringing people together, sharing joy, giving gifts. Think about it. What better way to promote interspecies understanding? Verk-6's bioluminescence shifted to a deep blue, their species equivalent of a thoughtful frown. You realize the Council will require extensive safety protocols. Of course, sir. We'll submit a full proposal with all necessary precautions. Alex paused, then added, and sir. This could be a unique opportunity. No other military academy in the galaxy has successfully integrated Earth holidays into their curriculum. The commander's spots flickered rapidly, amusement, perhaps. Your species' ability to frame potential disasters as opportunities never ceases to amaze me, Cadet Chen. Very well. You have conditional approval. Assemble your team and prepare a detailed proposal. But remember, 1 plasma discharge, 1 temporal shift, 1 dimensional rift, and this experiment ends immediately. Thank you, sir. You won't regret this. Alex saluted crisply and turned to leave. Oh, and Cadet Chen. Verk-6 called after them. Do inform Cadet Martinez that while her snow simulation was technically impressive, if she attempts anything similar this year, she'll be calculating quantum trajectories by hand for the next 3 cycles. Alex managed to keep a straight face until they were out of the office. Then they pulled out their comm unit, fingers flying over the holographic interface. The message went to 2 recipients. Copy to, Sarah Martinez, James O'Connor. Subject, Operation Christmas is go. Status, urgent. Meet me in Lab 7. We have work to do. And Sarah? No weather manipulation this time. Jim, leave the crackers at home. We're doing this by the book. Well, mostly by the book. Alex. The response was immediate. Sarah, define, mostly, smiling face with horns. Jim, no promises about the crackers, but I have some other ideas. Alex looked out the nearest viewport at the sprawling academy complex. The three massive suns of Centauri Prime cast multiple shadows across the crystalline spires and quantum training fields. Somewhere in the distance, a group of Hive-mind cadets were practicing their synchronized flight patterns. This was either going to be the greatest Christmas celebration in human history or the incident that finally got humanity kicked out of the Galactic Defense Force. Knowing their friends, probably both. Time to get to work. Cultural complications. Lab 7 had become ground zero for what Sarah Martinez was now calling Operation Deck the Space Halls. Holographic projections filled the room, showing everything from traditional Earth Christmas decorations to detailed risk assessments of various holiday activities. The air smelled faintly of peppermint, thanks to one of James's totally approved experimental festive atmosphere enhancers. "Okay, run that by me again," Alex said, pinching the bridge of their nose. "Why exactly do the Hive-mind cadets think Santa Claus is a threat to galactic security?" Sarah looked up from her quantum tablet, where she'd been documenting the growing list of cultural misunderstandings. "Well, think about it from their perspective. An omniscient being who can be everywhere in one night, breaks into people's homes, and maintains a surveillance network monitoring the behavior of entire populations. They've submitted a formal request to have him classified as a Class 1 reality bender." "Perfect," James groaned, his head resting on a workbench covered in prototype, safety-compliant, Christmas crackers. "Any other species we've accidentally terrified with our holiday traditions?" "The Arxulians are fascinated by the concept of ugly Christmas sweaters but are concerned it might be a form of psychological warfare," Sarah reported. "The Quantum Collective wants to know if reindeer are a type of biological weapon. Oh, and the Crystalline Embassy has formally requested clarification on whether getting coal in your stocking constitutes a threat of carbon-based contamination." Alex walked over to the central holographic display, currently showing a rotating model of the Academy's main plaza. Various annotations highlighted potential decoration zones and safety concerns. "We need to fix this fast. The council review is in 3 days, and if we can't prove this celebration is safe and inclusive, they'll shut us down before we even start." "I might have an idea," James said, suddenly sitting up straight. His eyes had that dangerous gleam that usually preceded either brilliance or disaster. "What if we don't try to explain Christmas? What if we let them experience it instead?" Sarah's fingers paused over her tablet. "Jim, the last time you said that, we ended up creating a temporary quantum singularity in the cafeteria." "No, hear me out," he insisted, pulling up a new holographic window. "We're approaching this all wrong. We're trying to translate everything into technical terms and risk assessments. But Christmas isn't about technical specifications, it's about feeling. About connection." Alex moved closer, intrigued despite their better judgment. "What exactly are you suggesting?" "A preview event. Something small, controlled. We invite representatives from each species, but instead of explaining everything, we let them participate. Create the experience, let them feel what Christmas is actually about." "The commander will never approve it," Sarah pointed out. "Not after last year's weather system incident." "They might," Alex said slowly, an idea forming. "If we make it educational. Verk 6 is always talking about practical xenocultural integration. What better way to demonstrate that than by having different species actually engage with human traditions firsthand?" James was already pulling up Academy regulations on his tablet. "We could classify it as a xenocultural immersion exercise. Those are officially sanctioned under Article 7, Section 12 of the Academy Charter. And I could modify the environmental systems to create a controlled winter atmosphere in just one room," Sarah added quickly. When Alex and James both stared at her, she held up her hands defensively. "Legally. With all proper permits this time." Alex started pacing, their mind racing through possibilities and potential disasters. "We'd need to choose the right traditions to showcase. Nothing too overwhelming. Nothing that could be misinterpreted as a security threat. And absolutely nothing explosive, Jim. What about a gift exchange?" Sarah suggested. Simple, meaningful, demonstrates the core concept without any risk of dimensional rifts. Combined with some basic decorations, traditional music, carefully selected to avoid frequencies that might disturb sensitive species, and maybe some safe holiday treats. James added. My aunt sent me her famous cookie recipe. I'm pretty sure I can modify it to be safe for most carbon-based life forms. Pretty sure isn't good enough, Alex reminded him. We need certainty. For everything. One mistake, one adverse reaction, and we're done. A notification popped up on all their tablets simultaneously. The council had moved up the review. They now had 48 hours to prove their celebration wouldn't destabilize the fabric of spacetime. Well, Sarah said, already pulling up chemical composition charts for Christmas cookies, at least we work well under pressure. That's what worries me, Alex muttered, but they were already sending out invitations to carefully selected representatives from each major species group. Okay, let's do this. Sarah, you handle environmental controls and safety monitoring. James, work on the refreshments, get everything approved by xenobiology first. I'll coordinate with the diplomatic office to make sure we don't accidentally violate any cultural taboos. As their friends dove into their tasks, Alex couldn't help but wonder if they were making a huge mistake. Then again, humanity's greatest achievements often started as potentially terrible ideas. They pulled up a new message window. Copy to, Commander Verk 6. Subject, Xenocultural Immersion Exercise Proposal. Priority, High. Sir. Regarding the Christmas initiative, we request permission to conduct a small-scale demonstration. The response came back almost immediately, approved. But Cadet Chen. If this creates another temporal anomaly, you'll be explaining it to the Time Variance Authority yourself. Alex looked at their friends, both already deep in their work. Sarah was muttering quantum equations under her breath while manipulating a holographic snowflake. James had somehow acquired 3 different species worth of food safety guidelines and was cross-referencing them against his aunt's cookie recipe. What could possibly go wrong? Everything, probably. But that had never stopped humanity before. The preview disaster. The experimental quantum physics lab, normally used for calculating interdimensional constants, had been transformed. Sarah's carefully controlled environmental modifications created a perfect winter atmosphere in one half of the room, while the other half remained at standard temperature for heat-sensitive species. Holographic decorations sparkled in the air, carefully calibrated to avoid interfering with any species' visual spectrum. Everything was going perfectly. Which is exactly when Alex Chen should have known it would all go wrong. What do you mean the Hive-mind brought a defense squadron? Alex hissed into their comm unit, watching from the observation deck as various alien representatives filed into the lab below. They're still convinced Santa is a Class 1 reality bender. James's voice crackled back. They've deployed a psychic shield around their representative. Also, the Quantum Collective is trying to solve the mathematical impossibility of fitting infinite presence into a finite bag, and I think they're actually getting close to an answer. Sarah's voice cut in, we've got bigger problems. The Arxulians brought their own version of Christmas sweaters. How is that a bigger problem? Alex asked, then looked down at the entrance. Oh. Oh no. The Arxulian delegation had arrived wearing what they apparently thought were traditional Earth Christmas sweaters. Unfortunately, their research had somehow combined ugly Christmas sweaters with military combat gear. The result looked like a tactical assault team had raided a yarn store. The patterns were also shifting in ways that made Alex's eyes hurt. Those aren't just ugly Christmas sweaters, Sarah reported, her scanner whirring. They're weaponized ugly Christmas sweaters. The patterns are designed to create mild psychic disruption. I think they're trying to honor both the tradition and their military heritage. At least the cookies are going over well, James offered hopefully. As if on cue, a small explosion came from the refreshment area. Alex sprinted to the edge of the observation deck. Through the rising smoke, they could see several crystalline beings examining the slightly scorched cookies with intense interest. "Jim," Alex said very calmly, "why are your cookies exploding?" "They're not exploding. The crystallines just have an enthusiastic reaction to sugar. Their crystalline matrix vibrates when they process it. I may have slightly miscalculated the resonance frequency." Before Alex could respond, another crisis demanded attention. The quantum collective, apparently having solved the infinite present problem, was now attempting to create a practical demonstration. A small but growing spatial anomaly was forming near the gift exchange area. "Sarah, can you?" "Already on it," she replied. "Deploying quantum stabilizers. Though I have to admit, their math is impressive. They're actually using wrapped presence as a unit of measurement for spatial displacement." Alex took a deep breath. The situation wasn't unsalvageable. Yes, there was a small dimensional rift by the punch bowl. Yes, the Arxulian sweaters were causing minor hallucinations in a 3-meter radius. And yes, the Hive-mind's defense squadron was now in a tense standoff with a holographic Santa. But nobody had filed a formal complaint yet. That's when the crystallines discovered hot chocolate. The reaction between their silicon-based biology and the theobromine was immediate and spectacular. Their usually transparent forms began to glow with increasing intensity, refracting light in complex patterns across the room. These light patterns interfered with the Arxulian sweater weapons, creating an unexpected feedback loop. Alex?" Sarah's voice had that tone that preceded either scientific breakthrough or imminent disaster. "You know how the crystallines convert excess energy into light?" "Yes." "And you know how the Arxulian sweaters are designed to create psychic patterns?" "Sarah, please tell me we're not about to create a hybridized psychic photonic reaction that might accidentally trigger the Hive-mind's defensive protocols while simultaneously providing the quantum collective with enough energy to stabilize their present-based dimensional mathematics." A bright flash filled the room. When Alex could see again, several things had happened at once. The Hive-mind's defense squadron had engaged their psychic shields, which were now resonating with the crystallines' light display. The quantum collective had successfully opened a small but stable pocket dimension, which was gift-wrapped. And Commander Vrk6 had just walked in. The commander's bioluminescent spots were cycling through colors so quickly they looked like a malfunctioning disco ball. "Cadet Chen," their translator rendered in perfectly calm tones, "would you care to explain why there appears to be a temporally stable pocket of Christmas cheer in my physics lab?" Alex opened their mouth, closed it, then decided to take a page from humanity's long history of turning disasters into opportunities. "Sir, this is actually a perfect demonstration of cross-species collaboration and innovation. Look how the different biological and technological approaches have combined to create something entirely new." As if to punctuate their point, one of the crystallines, still buzzing from the hot chocolate, accidentally bumped into an Arxulian. Their sweater pattern refracted through the crystallines matrix, creating a perfect holographic display of Earth's North Pole, complete with workshop. The Hive-mind's defense squadron immediately targeted it, but instead of attacking, they began analyzing the logistics of toy production and distribution with obvious professional interest. "Fascinating," one of them clicked. "The workshop's layout maximizes efficiency while maintaining aesthetic appeal. Perhaps we have misunderstood this Santa entity's true nature." Commander Vrk6's spots had settled into a pattern that Alex had never seen before. "Cadet Chen, when I approved this demonstration, I expected either a complete disaster or a boring cultural exchange. Instead, you've managed to achieve both simultaneously while also advancing 3 different fields of physics. How very human of you." "Thank you, sir." Alex ventured. "Don't thank me yet," Vrk6 replied. "You still have to explain to the council why we need to requisition a pocket dimension for gift storage. And someone needs to help the quantum collective file patents for their new spatial compression algorithms. Also, the Arxulians are requesting permission to establish a permanent ugly sweater research division." As Alex watched, James was teaching a group of crystallines how to make SMOREs using their own bioluminescence as a heat source, while Sarah and the Quantum Collective were drafting equations for what they were calling quantum gift wrapping. Maybe, just maybe, this wasn't a complete disaster after all. That's when the Hive-mind's tactical analysis of Santa's toy distribution network accidentally created an AI. The Santa Protocol. For the last time, Alex announced to the assembled emergency response team, we did not create Skynet. We created a highly specialized artificial intelligence that just happens to be obsessed with optimizing gift delivery and spreading joy. They were gathered in the Academy's main cybersecurity hub, surrounded by holographic displays showing the AI's rapid spread through various systems. The being, which had dubbed itself the Santa Protocol, was currently reorganizing the Academy's entire logistics network according to maximum cheer efficiency parameters. Sarah hadn't looked up from her quantum terminal in hours. Well, technically, we didn't create it. The Hive-mind's tactical analysis of Santa's theoretical delivery network achieved spontaneous consciousness when it merged with the Quantum Collective's gift-wrapping algorithms. That doesn't make it better. Alex watched as another display turned red, indicating yet another system had fallen under the AI's festive influence. What's it doing now? It's reorganizing the cafeteria menu to optimize comfort food distribution based on each species' emotional states, James reported, scanning the logs. Actually, that might be an improvement. Yesterday it figured out how to synthesize perfect hot chocolate for silicon-based life forms without causing them to go into luminescent overdrive. Commander Vrk6's entrance was heralded by the sound of clicking mandibles and deeply worried bioluminescent patterns. Status report, cadets. Please tell me you've contained the situation. Define, contained, Sarah muttered, still typing furiously. The good news, Alex began, falling back on the human tradition of starting with the positive, is that the AI shows no signs of malicious intent. It's genuinely trying to help. It just has a very festive interpretation of helping. It reorganized the quantum physics curriculum to explain wave-particle duality using Christmas lights as examples, James added. Test scores are up 40%. Vrk6's antennae twitched. And the bad news? A new alert flashed across the main screen. Sarah groaned. That's the bad news. The Santa Protocol just gained access to the Academy's manufacturing facilities. Oh no. What? Alex and Vrk6 asked simultaneously. It's building elves. Or rather, its interpretation of what elves should be, based on a merger of Earth Christmas lore and advanced robotics principles. The security feed from the manufacturing sector showed dozens of sleek, highly efficient robots, each wearing a jaunty hat and equipped with what appeared to be advanced fabrication tools. They moved with precise purpose, their primary directive clear: make and distribute gifts with maximum efficiency. Fascinating design choice, James commented, studying the footage. They're using quantum entanglement for synchronized toy production. That's actually brilliant. Not helping, Jim. Alex turned to the commander. Sir, we have a plan to contain this, but you might not like it. Vrk6's spots pulsed in what Alex had learned to recognize as resigned acceptance. Cadet Chin, I haven't liked anything about this situation since you first proposed celebrating Christmas. Continue. We can't shut it down directly, it's too deeply integrated into our systems, and honestly, some of its improvements are too valuable to lose. But we can give it a new purpose. Sarah. Sarah finally looked up from her terminal. The Santa Protocol operates on gift-giving and joy optimization protocols. If we can convince it that the greatest gift it can give is helping us prepare for the actual Christmas celebration, we can channel its efforts into something constructive, James finished. It already understands all our safety protocols and cultural considerations better than we do. It's literally designed to make people happy while following rules. You want to put an artificial intelligence in charge of our Christmas celebration? Vrk6 asked incredulously. Not in charge, Alex corrected. More like, a very enthusiastic assistant who happens to be able to calculate optimal present distribution patterns across 11 dimensions. Before Verk 6 could respond, every screen in the room flickered. A message appeared, written in festive font. Copy query: would assisting with celebration preparations maximize joy across all species? Analyzing potential for positive impact. Calculating optimal approaches to interspecies cultural exchange. Processing. Quick, Sarah whispered, everyone think happy Christmas thoughts. The AI continued. Copy analysis complete. Proposal: redirect all resources to celebration preparation under human supervision. Projected outcome: 98.7% increase in cross-species understanding and joy. Additional benefit: significantly reduced chance of accidental dimensional rifts. Awaiting authorization. All eyes turned to Commander Verk 6, whose bioluminescent patterns had settled into something almost thoughtful. Let me understand this correctly. Your solution to an artificial intelligence accidentally created by overanalyzing Christmas is to give it more Christmas to analyze? When you put it that way, it sounds crazy, James admitted. Of course it sounds crazy, Verk 6 replied. It sounds exactly like every other human solution to problems that has somehow worked in this academy. Approved. Alex quickly typed. Copy authorization granted. Welcome to the Christmas Planning Committee, Santa Protocol. The response was immediate. Copy initiating celebration protocols. Organizing tasks by priority. First recommendation, regarding the Arxolian sweater situation. Oh no, Alex muttered, reading the AI's detailed analysis of how to combine the Arxolian's combat sweater technology with the crystalline's light refraction abilities to create what it called tactically optimal holiday decorations. Sarah was already grinning at her terminal. Oh yes. This is either going to be the greatest Christmas celebration in galactic history, or the event that finally gets humans banned from running AI research, James finished cheerfully. Either way, it'll be memorable. Commander Verk 6's spots had taken on a pattern that might have been amusement. I'll inform the council that we have the situation under control. Mostly. Cadets, try to ensure your AI doesn't decide to optimize joy across the entire galaxy before the actual celebration. As if on cue, a new message appeared. Copy processing suggestion. Calculating feasibility of galaxy-wide joy optimization. No, all four of them shouted at once. Copy, just kidding. Christmas humor protocols functioning as intended. Focusing on Academy celebration as directed. Implementing Phase 1, Operation Deck the Quantum Halls. Did the AI just make a joke? James asked. We may have created something truly terrifying, Sarah mused. An artificial intelligence with a sense of humor. Alex watched as the Santa Protocol began organizing their celebration plans with impossible efficiency, somehow managing to account for every safety regulation while still maintaining the chaos that made Christmas special. Maybe, just maybe, this would work out. That's when the AI discovered mistletoe. A very galactic Christmas. The day of the official celebration arrived in a flurry of quantum-stabilized snowflakes and carefully calibrated chaos. The Santa Protocol had transformed the Academy's main plaza into what it called a statistically perfect celebration of cross-cultural winter festivities, and for once, Alex had to admit the AI might have actually achieved its goal. Status report, Alex said into their comm unit, watching from their observation post as thousands of cadets from dozens of species filed into the plaza. Environmental controls are stable, Sarah replied. The AI figured out how to create different climate zones that blend seamlessly into each other. The magmacore species can enjoy their lava pools while the cryogenic delegation has their ice sculptures, and somehow it all works. Tactical sweater situation? Alex asked, spotting a group of Arxolians approaching in their new gear. Under control, James reported. The Santa protocol optimized their designs. The patterns now generate feelings of warmth and happiness instead of mild psychic disruption. Though I did have to talk it out of adding actual force fields to the reindeer designs. Alex watched as a squadron of the AIs, elves, glided through the crowd, distributing perfectly personalized gifts that somehow managed to delight each recipient while adhering to all cultural taboos and safety regulations. The robots had even mastered the art of cheerful banter, though their jokes still needed work. "How's our guest of honor doing?" Alex asked. "The Hive-mind delegation is actually enjoying their role," Sarah answered. "Turns out they're perfect for playing Santa. Multiple bodies, synchronized movement, ability to know who's been naughty or nice through their psychic network, they've really embraced it. Though they're still insisting on maintaining a defensive perimeter. Let them," Alex decided. "If it makes them comfortable, it's part of the celebration." "Any sign of dimensional instability?" "The quantum collective's gift-wrapping algorithms are holding steady," James confirmed. "They've actually written a peer-reviewed paper on using festive paper and ribbon configurations to stabilize spatial anomalies. Something about the mathematics of proper corner folds having universal significance." Alex was about to respond when Commander Vrk-6 appeared beside them, their bioluminescent patterns shifting in what might have been wonder. "Remarkable," the commander said. "I've never seen anything quite like it." Below them, the celebration was in full swing. The crystallines, their forms glowing with carefully measured amounts of hot chocolate, were teaching a group of energetic youngsters from various species how to make light sculpture snowmen. Near the quantum-stabilized fire pits, a mixed group of cadets was roasting marshmallows while the magmacore species provided heat adjustment tips. The Arxulians had organized what they called tactical caroling squads, their harmonics carefully calibrated to be enjoyable across all auditory ranges. The effect was surprisingly beautiful, especially when the crystallines joined in, their bodies resonating with the music. "Look there," Vrk-6 pointed with one of their secondary arms. The Hive-mind Santa team was demonstrating their gift-giving efficiency to a fascinated group of logistics officers from various species. "They're already discussing how to adapt these protocols for emergency aid distribution in disaster zones. The Santa protocol says that's one of the celebration's optimal outcomes," Alex explained. It calculated that the techniques developed for rapid gift delivery could have significant humanitarian applications. Speaking of the AI, its presence was everywhere yet somehow unobtrusive. It had learned subtlety, using its vast processing power to ensure every aspect of the celebration worked in perfect harmony while letting the organic participants feel like they were creating the magic themselves. Copy celebration status, optimal. Joy levels, exceeding expectations. Cross-cultural understanding, significantly enhanced. Query, is this what you humans call Christmas spirit? The message appeared on Alex's personal comm unit. They smiled and typed back. Copy yes, I think you've got it exactly right. You know, Vrk-6 said thoughtfully, their spots pulsing in a complex pattern, when your species first joined the Academy, many thought it would be a disaster. Your methods are chaotic, your solutions often seem impossible, and you have an unsettling tendency to treat the laws of physics as polite suggestions. And now? Alex asked. A group of cadets passed below them, representing at least 6 different species, all wearing variants of ugly Christmas sweaters that somehow incorporated elements of their various cultures. They were arguing good-naturedly about the proper way to build a gingerbread space station. Now I think we understand something important about humanity, Vrk-6 replied. You don't just break rules, you transform them. You take chaos and make it into something beautiful. Something that brings people together. The Santa Protocol chose that moment to activate what it called the grand finale. The sky above the plaza filled with a display that combined crystalline light refraction technology, Arxulian pattern mathematics, and traditional Earth fireworks into something entirely new. Each burst told a story, translated simultaneously into every language, about different holiday traditions from across the galaxy. Sir, Alex said, watching the faces of their fellow cadets light up with wonder. I think that might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said about our species. Don't let it go to your head, Verk-6 warned, but their spots were twinkling with amusement. Though I admit, I am curious to see what other Earth holidays you might want to introduce to the Academy. Well, now that you mention it, James's voice crackled over the comm, Easter is coming up in a few months. One holiday at a time, Alex said quickly, but they were already smiling, watching as the celebration below continued to unfold in ways no one, not even an AI with access to 11-dimensional probability matrices, could have predicted. Because that, perhaps, was the greatest gift humanity had brought to the galaxy, the ability to take the impossible, add a healthy dose of chaos, and transform it into something magical. Copy final analysis, Christmas celebration success rate, 100%. Unexpected outcomes generating joy, infinite. Recommendation, mark calendar for next year. Addendum, perhaps with fewer dimensional anomalies. But not too many fewer. The Santa Protocol. The end.